The most expensive hose I've ever bought and the worst. Absolute brute of a thing. It kinks like mad. Well, our daughter's the youngest, she's 42, and when she was 4 we started camping with friends out at the lake. And eventually we bought a property out on Burrell Road, built a new house there and sort of retired there. I never worked so hard in all my life. I mean, there was probably 1.5 acres of lawn to be mowed, and I had a vegetable garden the size of a tennis court. I had to raise Paul's chair so that when you've had a hip replacement, you can't have it any higher than right angle. And all our chairs were too low, so I've had to use one of the cushions. But he has a lot of pain around his bottom. I think it's neuropathic pain from the back surgery 2 years ago, because it was huge surgery. Just move your right foot, dear. I'm 79, Paul's 80.
I was logistics manager for Hardy Wines, and also doing some part-time teaching in the TAFE system.
Before we knew Paul had to have all the back surgery, our daughter started nagging us about, because she could see that it was too much.
That I had the back surgery as a result of carrying firewood into the...
Because we had a slow combustion.
Well, the situation, it's got sort of 3 dimensions. The first one is hearing loss. The next one is epilepsy and
your poor balance.
Balance, that's
yes.
the one. Because I fell ending up with 2 fractures, one down here and one across the back.
Well, this time leave it round there, don't put it round in front of you. I see my daughter Lyndall every Tuesday afternoon after school when 4 little girls come one after another for their piano lesson. They live just out of town. At the moment, they've just told us that her husband's American. They're going back to the States next year. So here, it's very close to everything. It's a dead-end street, so it's very quiet. It's a nearly level block. It's a brick house, so it doesn't require an awful lot of maintenance. We've got a drive-in garage with an automatic electric door. There's 1 step from the garage up into here. Well, when I realised when Paul was coming home from hospital of this step, I went and bought these hand grab bars, and actually our son-in-law installed them. I've got it, Paul, it won't go. He's an engineer and he's very cluey.
Those 2 there are used for step-ups.
Yeah. Yeah, Paul can use them as an exercise thing too. He does step-ups there. These are some of the things I bought at Anstey.
Basically, we need to find out where you want to put the grab rail and what you want to use it for. Australian standards sort of go with a 30 to 32 mil one. But then they would need to get someone to install it and making sure that they can find their studs and things like that. So it becomes a little bit more involved once they go to the heavier duty ones. A lot of people find the suction rails handy because they don't need anyone to install them, and usually it's just to give them a little bit of stability.
We've got a removable grab rail in the shower because it's a fairly new house and the tiles seem to be okay. It's a suction grip on the tiles. So this is virtually Paul's shower, and that's the removable grab rail there, which we actually take with us on holidays. It's very, very strong. Yeah, I could hang on it. But the lady there was so helpful because she told me about a lot of things that we should make inquiries about in the way of help and things that we weren't aware of. It's terribly hard to get information. Yeah.
I need a higher seat.
Oh, well, I don't know what we can do. There ought to be somewhere that tells you these are the things that you might be entitled to. This is the sort of help. Where did I put it? I'm not sure who put us on to these people, Great Lakes Home Modification Service, but they were very good. They sent an occupational therapist to look at the house and talk about the things that were needed. So here there were all these inch steps, terribly dangerous. So they did that one and this one here into the main toilet. Did we have the handheld shower in the bathroom when you came home from hospital? Had I already got it?
Here?
Yes. I bought that at Bunnings and Tim put it in. We have an electronic stud finder, which is very important when you're putting things in that you want to be secure. Well, I started looking on the internet and the prices were astounding. I mean, some of them were up to $500. And I went to Bunnings, and the big Bunnings in Newcastle, and went to the plumbing department and said, asked to talk to somebody who knew about these things, and got an older man who was very good. I explained that I needed something that could be installed instead of the overhead shower, because my husband would be sitting on a shower stool and had to be able to reach things. And he said, look, this one works beautifully, nothing wrong with it. And I think it was $105 or...
Not only do I get the benefit of height adjustment, but I also get the benefit of a fairly long grab rail.
Because Paul can use the rail that the shower slides up and down on as a grab rail, because it's out from the wall a bit and get your hand behind it.